This is the Highlands of Scotland, the most beautiful place in the world, I believe. Let me take you back to the summer of 1989. I was just turned 18 and we'd been living in Scotland for about a year. We lived just north of Edinburgh. And there was a knock at the door. No, nothing to knock. Wendy, how are you? It was my French pen friend, Karine. Froggy! Oh my God, what are you doing here? Probably shouldn't really call her that anymore. I have run away. I have had enough of my parents. I want to come and live with you and explore your beautiful country. Excuse my French accent. Wow, that's amazing. Well, what do you want to do? I want to meet Nessie. Well, I hadn't been up that far, so I said, let's do it. So we packed the car with a tent, sleeping bags, food, clothes, and we set off on an adventure. And we pitched our tent on the banks of Loch Ness. And we were able to lie with the door open, looking out across the calm, tranquil water. It was very magical. And it was at that moment that I fell in love with the Highlands of Scotland. And I said, one day I'm coming back here to retire. One day I'm going to have a holiday home here. I love it so much. We never did find Nessie, and Karine went back to France in the end. So begin with the end in mind, or begin with your end in mind. Begin with the end in mind is a phrase that came from Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it is one of my favourite books. And they say you never forget your first. And that was the first self-development book I ever read a long, long time ago. And it's something that I live by throughout life. So what does begin with the end in mind mean? I think it probably means different things for different people. And I think for me, it was about, when I get to the end of my life, what do I want that to have looked like? What do I want to have achieved? And so if you take my favourite tool, my IKEA tape measure, I want you to imagine that's 100 years. Every centimetre is a year. Now, on average, we live until we are 85. So just for the sake of this game, just tear it off at 85. If you want to live longer, that's fine. And obviously, we've heard today that sometimes it doesn't get that far. And so this is why this exercise is quite important. Then I want you to look at what age you are now. So I am, thanks guys. I'm 51. I forgot my glasses. Just imagine it's there. So I'm going to tear it off at 51. And just for a moment, look at that 1 to whatever age you are. That's the life you've lived so far. All those experiences, everything you've done that has got you to where you are today. I want you just to thank that life, whatever it's done for you, and just put it gently to one side. And then what you've got left is potentially what you've got left. So for me, it's 35 years. And I want to make damn sure that the next 35 years of my life, I do absolutely everything I can to have my best life. I hear people say, it's too late for me. You know, they've reached a certain age, they have done what they've done in their life, and they're bored and fed up, but they don't want to do anything. They say it's too late. It's never too late. When I was 46, I retrained as a property investor and developer, and I started a career in property. And I've now grown a property portfolio to just under £2 million, and it's cash flowing nicely, thank you very much. And that money's going to be there to see me through my retirement. So it's never too late. So for me, there are 3 key things that I would say contribute to my success so far. The first one is be your number 1 fan. And we've heard that throughout the day. Put yourself first. If you don't love yourself, who else will? Secondly, find your why and do what you love. Raise your hand if you're doing what you love just now. Magic. If you're not, book a session with Cheryl and Marion. And Tony Hsieh, the founder of the shoe store Zappos, says, work is life and life is work. And when work is something you're really passionate about, it's not about work or life, it's just life. Now, I am living my why, and I'm living my best life. But it wasn't always like that. I've been there with the shit employers, turn me into a mood hoover, you know, the person that walks into the room and sucks the life out of you. That was me at one point. And when I became aware of my behaviour, I realised I had to get out of there. I repeated it a few times before it really sunk in that I'm not really designed to be an employee. Thirdly, earn more and work less. And that's something I've learned from the lovely Paula Wingate at Influential Minds, how to really get your business running without you. You might be familiar with this. Somebody mentioned Rich Dad, Poor Dad earlier today, Robert Kiyosaki, another one of my favourite books. In terms of earning money, some people cringe when we start to talk about money and how important it is, but it is, because we have to eat, we have to put petrol in the car, we have to do stuff, so we need money. And then if you've got more money, well, you can do great things with it, can't you? So how do we earn money? We earn money as an employee, or you can become self-employed. You can take control of your job. And here we're trading time for money. Or you can become a business owner where you create a system that makes money. And that's either through automation, through employing people, or through outsourcing some of the work that you do. Or you can become an investor, and that's where I am. And this is where you buy cash flowing assets. So you buy things that will make money. And so for me, it's things like I've taken control of my pension. So my pension is now invested in commercial property. I've got my property portfolio, which I'm living off now, but that's going to be around for a while to come as well. I've also done the crypto, and I'm a cash FX investor, as we heard Tony talk about earlier, and it really does work. And what I've done is created multiple income streams, because I think that's really important to have that balance of income throughout your life. Who would like me to pay for their next holiday? Raise your hand. David did. So David is in his mid-30s. He's got a young family. He works really, really hard. He doesn't get to spend much time with them because when he comes home at night, he's out delivering parcels for Amazon, and he's doing that at the weekends too. So he's working an awful lot of hours for not very much money. Wendy, I'm really loving the results you're getting with what you're doing, but I wish I could get into property, but I've just not got the time. Oh, okay. You should become an armchair investor. What's that? Well, how much money have you got in the bank just now? I've got about 20 grand at the moment. Okay, and how much do you make? How much does that money earn you? Oh, I have no idea. Okay, go into your banking app, go to your earnings, your certificate of interest, and tell me what you earned last year for the money in your bank. 0.01%, as we heard Tony earlier. It was the same for him. It's the same for me as well. Okay, so that money in your bank gave you 200 quid last year. What's that 20 grand there for? What are you going to do with that? Well, we pay for our holidays with that, and it's, there for a rainy day. Okay. And how much do you spend on a holiday on average? Well, last year we went to Spain, and it cost me about 1,200 quid. We got a really good deal. Okay. Give me £15,000 of your money. I'm going to put it into one of my projects, and at the end of that project, I'll give you back £1,500. And you'll also get your 15 grand back as well. That's a no-brainer. And so he did. And so for the last 2 years, that's paid for his holiday. And he even got the same amount of money that the bank were giving him, and he got his money back at the end of it. And he wants to keep going. He doesn't want to do the property stuff himself. And we heard Nikki offering earlier as well, similar. So there's my, just to prove it, from my app showing you the percentage of interest. Want to work with me? So if you like the sound of what I'm doing, I'm happy to spend some time and talk you through it and help you get into property. I've got some training programs available. Or maybe, like David, you might want to put some money into a property project. People are always asking me, how much does it cost to get into a project with you? What's your kind of minimum investment? And I would say probably up until now it's been maybe 10 grand, or we've taken up to 30 grand before. But now we're moving into the big stuff. Now we're moving into the really big, exciting projects. Back here to the Scottish Highlands. In particular, that house there is Dunlickety House. It is absolutely beautiful. It's set in 12 acres of beautiful Scottish countryside. There's fishing lochs, there's woodlands for walking in. You're about 8 miles from Inverness, you're near the airport, near the train station, you're near Aviemore for skiing in the winter, walking the Cairngorm Mountains in the summer. Absolutely beautiful. And the reason I'm showing you guys this today is because I believe some of you run retreats, and I think this will make the most amazing retreat space. Do intimate retreats, the house sleeps up to 24 people. We're going to be converting the cottages at the back into more accommodation, and we're going to build some lodges around the loch side as well. So really expand the site into a bit of a resort. So if you're thinking about running a retreat, come and have a chat. The house is stunning, as I say, great condition, and the grounds are absolutely beautiful. And inside, the space is just lovely. And you can see out the windows there, we've got a lovely, gorgeous lawn where you could do yoga or relaxation outdoors, and you'd be looking out across the lochs. Absolutely beautiful. So if you're interested in running a retreat, or maybe coming on a retreat, then let me know. I've got a massive favour to ask. Who do you know that would love to get involved in a project like this with me? For £50,000 investment, sorry, not allowed to say investment, put 50 grand in, and I'm going to give you a week's holiday each year that money's with us. And we're looking for about 2 years at the moment. In 24 months, in 2 years' time, you'll get your 50 grand back, plus you'll get 5 grand. Not quite competing with Cash FX's returns, but this is about multiple income streams and spreading your risk. So who do you know that would like to get into property but doesn't have the time, maybe has some money, and would like to earn more than it's earning them in the bank at the moment? Let's talk. Thank you very much.